Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon. Did I wait long enough? I did. Okay, good. I didn't have the screen in front of me, so I didn't know if it was live or just playing the end of the song. So, where did I put? I was literally just on the phone with my headphones, and now I can't find my headphones. I just want to plug them in. Welcome. This guy's in me pocket. They're in me pocket. Welcome. Hey, friend. So I'm a little late. I got a call from a fellow alcoholic. He's going to come help me on Saturday. And we were just kind of talking about some of the bullshit going on and what we can do. What solutions do we have in order to keep helping? Because at the moment, at least in Colorado, it feels like the recovery services have just kind of gone non-existent, but that's not true. It's not true. AA's still here. Okay. There are some programs that are not affected by the government money. Here are a few of them. Oxford Houses, AA, Celebrate Recovery, Wellbriety would be another one. Any of the spin-offs or sister 12-step groups are not affected. What are some of the other ones that are affected? But Smart Recovery is being affected because they took government money. All right. Even now, I continue to watch Celebrate Recovery start to promote things and take the sides of things. This is dangerous stuff. All right. Celebrate Recovery is a great program. Let's not ruin it for prestige. Don't do that. The reason I don't go to Celebrate Recovery is because everybody's talking at once and it just confuses the hell out of me. It's one of the only reasons. And they talk about Jesus a lot. I get a little wore out on that. But other than that, great program. Really good program. What are some of the other places? West Pines. West Pines doing some great things. Very proud of them. Why am I proud of them? Because they went ahead and spent extra money to do it the right way. So therefore, I want to support them. Putting out a couple new detoxes to help us out. So if you go to West Pines and you have an alcohol problem, you're going to go to the alcohol ward. If you have a drug problem, you are going to go to the drug problem ward. If you have a mental illness, if it's like schizophrenia or dementia, maybe something else is going, maybe you need a 72-hour break, then you go to that area and you get specified help. Great job, West Pines. Thank you for doing that. All right. So, because I come on here and bitch about places and stuff. So every now and again, I like to, put out the ones that are doing it right. That's like, I'm not against sober livings. I think they're a great idea. I think recovery coaching is a fantastic idea. But when it is unregulated and people don't, and there's no accountability, no, it'll fall apart like a leper in a hailstorm. Alcoholics have to be held accountable or we will fuck it up thinking we're doing the right thing. An alcoholic left to their own thoughts and devices is dangerous. That includes me. It includes me. Right. We had more people in person at the meeting today than we did online. We had 2 people online, 3 people in person. It wasn't by much. And everybody was a grassroots, but we had another newcomer show up. So so that makes it worth our time. It makes it worth our, if it means that I had to spend an extra half hour driving there, driving back, setting things up, tearing it down, great. I don't mind putting that. I also, people in the meetings have kind of been, or in the meeting kind of saying, let me put it this way. I appreciate that everybody in grassroots notices how much effort I put into it. I just want to put it that way. Thank you. And we're trying to figure out how to make it easier. And I appreciate that too, that you're thinking of me. You're thinking of me, man. It's kind of nice. All right, let's get started. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm having a great day. I feel free. I do. I made a decision today, and I feel really fucking free today. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. I decided yesterday that my social anxiety is not allowed to have power over me anymore. That's what happened. I just made the decision yesterday. Now, but before I had this anxiety attack, my first one about 8 years ago now, I was a social butterfly. I went everywhere. I did what I had no problem with it. So, all right. So we're going to be on page 84 today. Been a while since I've done this. I try and cover things that we don't usually read in the meetings. That's what I try and usually cover. This one is read a lot. You would probably read it every day. I do not. I don't read this every day. I used to, but I don't need to because this is what I do every day. Right? So, all right. And it isn't actually this part. I think it's actually 86, 87, and 88. Yeah. Upon awakening. That's what I was thinking of actually. When we retire at night, upon awakening. That's the part everybody reads. 88 to, or 86 to 88. So, all right. So this will be right after the ninth step promises. This thought, Steve, right. Get all the yips out of me. This thought brings us to step 10, which suggests we continue to take personal inventory and continue to set right any new mistakes as we go along. So now I'm going to deal with problems. Now I'm going to deal with my problems as they come up. I do not need to wait until I do another 4-step. Some people like to go in for an annual house cleaning and do it that way. I'm not going to stop you, but I ain't going to live 9 months with a resentment until I can get to the 4-step again. I'm not willing to do that. Maybe you're better at it than I am. I don't know. Maybe there's some deep-rooted ones. I'm not sure. But the way I was taught was you do one 4-step, you do it fearlessly and thoroughly, and you don't have to do another one if you can do a good 10th step. And we 10th step here all the fucking time. All the time. We do it in meetings. Amber and I, we text each other throughout the day. A lot of times we are 10th stepping. We're just saying, hey, this is going on. It's getting to me, but the fact that we can say something to each other is better than me going out there and taking some action against somebody that isn't fair. And I think Amber would rather hear what I have to say than try and come up with bail money. Right? All right. So it is a way of living, taking care of these, being proactive about your problems. If you can turn your problems into opportunities, I'm not always able to do that. I do a pretty good job of it for the most part. Not always. You're not going to be perfect. You don't need to be perfect. It's okay. I call the 10th step the human step. It gives you the right to be wrong. So be wrong. I'm wrong every day. Yeah, I'm an alcoholic. I'm going to be wrong almost every day. But I'm not wrong about everything all the time now. Now I've got some solutions, right? So we vigorously commenced this way of living as we cleaned up the past. That means that I am going to, you don't hang out on the 9th step. Or you're going to be doing your 9th, or you'll be on the 9th step for years. No, you're gonna move forward. The way I usually do it is I do one or two low-hanging fruits, which is usually family, and then a hard one with my sponsee, and then I let them loose. Like, now you figure it out. If one comes up, you're not sure how to handle it, let me know, and we'll recover everything. And that's how I do it. And it seems to work pretty well. All right. We have entered the world of the spirit. Our next function is to grow in understanding and effectiveness. And that just means trying to see other people's point of view, other people's perceptions. It's often that I go to a meeting, and because the newcomer is new and everything is fresh, they remind me of what I need to do. Like, keep it simple, easy does it, that kind of stuff. The newness of the program brings that out. And I hear it from people with less than 30 days all the time. It just happened in the 2 o'clock meeting. They were a newcomer, but it wasn't their first time. They were coming back after a good chunk of sobriety. That shit's hard to do, man. Right? So our next function is growing understanding and effectiveness. This is not an overnight matter. Okay? By step 10, we should have acquired the very much needed delayed gratification. I'll tell you what the big one usually is. The children. When will the children come back? I want my kids back. I want my grandkids back. I want them back. That usually seems to be the big one. At least it was for me, so maybe I just kind of see it that way. Right? And it's not that way for everybody, but it's usually when Dion, it's been 3 months. They don't even trust me yet. No, it's only been 3 months. See, non-alcoholic time and alcoholic time are they're two different things. You are doing better at 3 months. AA does for people in a matter of months what usually should take years to accomplish. I think that's why some therapists don't like us. They feel kind of left out. Sorry, Charlie. They're like, you're not even a therapist, and you're going to blah, blah, blah. Fuck you. Whatever. It should continue for a lifetime. What does that mean? It means that I'm probably going to be a human being for the rest of my life. It means I'm going to make mistakes for the rest of my life. Now, I used to beat up on myself about that. Now I learn from it. Mostly. Not all the time, but mostly I learn from it. And then what do? I do my best not to repeat it. I try and change my actions, is what I do. Because the only true amend is change behavior. Sorry for an alcoholic means I'm going to do it again. Unless you become recovered. And we're going to talk about that. Sorry becomes different once we are recovered alcoholics. It does. We actually mean it. And our sorry means I plan on changing that now. But when I'm drinking, sorry means I'm going to do that again. Right? So, continue to watch for selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and fear. When these crop up, we ask God to remove at once to remove them. When these crop up, not if, when, because it's going to. It will happen. Yeah, it's okay. Not everything is going to be so great. In fact, when things are great, you ain't learning shit anyway. Right? No, maybe. Maybe a little too much excitement made you want to go drink, and then you learn that balance is much better than excitement. Yeah, right. So we're going to continue to watch for these things because they are going to happen. And then when they do, we're going to ask God to remove them at once. It doesn't say wait till you do a 4-step. Okay, but at this point, well, you know what? That doesn't even coincide with that. So strike that. It doesn't go with that. So I was wrong on that. Okay. We discuss them with somebody immediately and make amends quickly if we have harmed anyone. What is that? Well, we call it a 10-step, but it is doing a 4-step because it says if you see the selfish dishonesty, oh, God remove this at once. I discuss it with somebody. So it's not even just the 4-step, it's the 4th and 5th step. I'm saying it out loud. I'm admitting it to someone else, to God, and seeing that I need to change. It's just the process that we go through. It's a process. Okay. So we make amends quickly if we have harmed anybody. And then what do they say? What happens next? Then we resolutely turn our thoughts to someone we can help. Love and tolerance of others is our code. It doesn't say go on your merry way, you did a great job. No, now you have to reinforce why. That's why you go help somebody else. Because if you do, then you reinforce what it. Why are you doing that? It is the consequence to your actions. But it's a good consequence. Okay? Even when something is a problem, you can create a good consequence. I remember I went to court once, and I don't remember what it was for. I think it was when I had some weed in my car. I had like a bowl in my car. It wasn't even an arrestable offense. They gave me a ticket, sent me on my way, impounded my car, which was illegal and had illegal plates on it. So I was glad that's all I got. So I didn't have my driver's license or insurance or anything, and they didn't tag me with that. They just took my car. Right? But what was the consequence? The judge's consequence was that Dion had to get his driver's license back within 3 months. See, what they did is they took a consequence, but made the consequence something that would improve my life, something that would make me a better person. That's what judges do. And they're very good at it. Judges are usually really cool people, right? Just don't fuck with their time. That's what they don't like. I found that out. All right. And we have ceased fighting anything and anyone for even alcohol. I have not ceased fighting everything and anyone. I haven't. It says that we're going to cease it. Well, that sounds like a completion to me. This again is going to crop up every now and again. Right. There's some people in my life that I don't particularly like, and I know 552. You pray for them and wish them happiness, but my mind never goes that way. It just says, God, please give them what they deserve. But in my mind, what they deserve is something bad, so it doesn't quite work. So I use the angry man's prayer. God, please save me from being angry. I hope they can be happy and have a good life. Thank you. And I kind of keep it at that. But I do it. Well, it was last week before, I saw that one of them celebrated 10 years. And I thought to myself, good for them, man. Cool. Good. Finally, letting it go. Every now and again, I'm reminded, it'll pop up back in my head, all the shit they talked and the name calling and oh man, there's a part of me still wants revenge. I don't know that will ever go away, but what I'm not going to do is react to that anymore. That's what I'm not going to do. I got better things to do with my time. Every time I start planning something that's bigger that I know that I need to be doing, suddenly people start sending me these posts. Happens every time. It happened today of what these people are doing. Then that's not God. For a while, I'm like, does God keep putting that in front of me so that I will do something about it? Because I'm the kind of person where I think that if God puts something in my purview, I'm supposed to do something about it. No, it was not. No. It took me a minute to figure it out, like 3, 4 years. No, it's not what God wants me to do. It's the devil doing that. See, every time I make that decision, it always. I'm not falling for it this time. After a while, I'm sure he'll just quit trying because I'm not going to do anything. It wants discord. It wants these other things. Okay. And what I've done is I've come to the conclusion, are they doing doing the right thing doesn't equal Medicaid fraud, but I got to start somewhere, do I not? That these people are doing what they think is best. But what did I say earlier? When it comes to sober livings and working in the public and recovery coaching, and if an alcoholic, and I don't care what alcoholic it is, isn't accountable, doesn't report, doesn't have something daily in order to keep them on track, then they will go do what they think is the right thing, but it isn't. I'm susceptible to it also. Right. So we have ceased fighting anything or anyone, even alcohol, for by this time sanity will have returned. That's right. We do become sane again. In fact, on the top of page 85 is written, this is the definition of recovered. I am a recovered alcoholic. Amber is a recovered alcoholic. Most of the people in the grassroots meeting is a recovered alcoholic. It just means we get to use our brains again. It means that I'm no longer caught up in the obsession of alcohol. I have been restored to sanity, or at least something close to it, right? We will seldom be interested in liquor. If tempted, we recoil from it as from a hot flame. I do not agree with that. That would be a reaction. No, I don't recoil from it from a hot flame. Not anymore. I used to, which was a good thing to start out with. Now I'm neutral. If I go somewhere, the question isn't this: will there be alcohol? I don't give a fuck if there's going to be alcohol there or not. I really don't. If it's going to be nothing but alcohol, then I'm probably not going. Right? Okay. The question is, am I going to cause more confusion or harmony? What can I add to it? That's the question I ask myself now. Yeah. Okay. Alcohol is not what's going to make that decision for me anymore. I'm free of that. Right? Not only that, but when alcohol comes off of other people, it just fucking stinks. I don't even like the smell of it. Did you know the liquor store and detox smell almost exactly the same? All right. We react sanely and normally. There we go. Is recoiling from it from a hot flame, reacting sanely and normally? I don't think it is. Sounds like an overreaction for Dion. For Dion, right? And we will find this has happened automatically. We will see that our new attitude toward liquor, and this is the 10th step promises, by the way. We will see that our new attitude toward liquor has been given us without any thought or effort on our part. See, since alcohol was the solution for us, we needed to be relieved of this obsession. And I have found that only a higher power really does it. Even the people that claim that they've never used a higher power do not work in God. I still see God working in their life. I still see it. And the thing is then I get to watch that and they don't believe it. But what am I supposed to? Make them believe that their life is better through a higher power? They'll figure it out one day. In the meantime, it's not for me to disrupt. It's not for me to tell them, oh, well, you've got to. No. What happens when you tell an alcoholic what to do? Yeah, exactly. All right. It just comes. That is the miracle of it. We're not fighting it. Neither are we avoiding temptation. Earlier I said, sorry, I just heard some weird noises. Okay. Pretty sure it was my grandson. So sometimes my grandson's screaming sounds like the cat's going, meow. So I got to listen really close. You know, so we're not fighting it. Neither are we avoiding temptation. I'm a free man. I can go anywhere the fuck I want. Even if I want to go to a wine tasting festival, I can go. Probably not the smartest move. You know, maybe I'm the designated driver and my friends wanted to go do it. You know, but that'll never happen. I don't even have friends that drink. In fact, I can't remember the last time I was actually even around alcohol. I'm thinking maybe the last time I went to go out and eat, there were people there drinking. I don't know. And what a great place to be. When I have to think about when was the last time I was even tempted by alcohol. Man, what a great thing. So nice. It is. All right. We feel, though, that we have been in a position of neutrality, safe and protected. We have not even sworn off. Yeah. Didn't pinky promise, didn't make any promises, didn't do nothing. All I did was ask God for help. Or all I did was ask the higher power of my choosing for help. Instead, the problem has just been removed. It does not exist for us. We are neither cocky nor are we afraid. But there's that extreme again. See, I don't care whether alcohol is there or not. Now, if I was like, oh, I'm so cocksured, what I'm going to do is I'm going to become the designated driver for a wine tasting country. That would be cocksuredness. Thinking I can do it on my own, because this next line gives us a clue. We are neither cocky nor afraid. That is our experience. That is how we react so long as we keep in fit spiritual condition. And the only way I stay in fit spiritual condition is by practicing the principles of Alcoholics Anonymous. That's how I do that. By utilizing the 10th step, by allowing myself to be human, by doing 4 and 5, figuring out what my character defects are, making amends, creating justice, becoming a better person, becoming a better friend, father, brother, husband. Yes. And we've got to have success in our life, and it's got to happen every day. Now, if you practice the principles in all your affairs, you'll automatically have the success. It comes with it. It's one of the benefits of working the program. Even if I don't go out of my way for the day, I still help someone. Yeah. I don't even leave my house. Help somebody. So I'm getting out more, because if I get out more, I'll be able to help more. I tend to think everyone's on social media, but like most of the people in the world are not. I meet a lot of people that are like, no, I don't do social media. So we have to be in fit spiritual condition because of this next line. It is easy to let up on the spiritual program of action, and rest on our laurels. Okay? Laurels means taking success for today, taking yesterday's success for today. I'm not going to go more into it. That's, because I talk about it a lot. So we are headed for trouble if we do, for alcohol is a subtle foe. Now, you may be neutral to alcohol, but alcohol still wants your ass. It does. And it's been around a lot longer than you, and it'll be here around a lot longer after you've been gone. You're nothing to it. To God, you're everything. But to alcohol, which I do believe is the devil, I absolutely believe it. Okay? I do believe that. So, we are not cured of alcoholism. What we get is a daily reprieve. Every day is another day where you get the grace of God. Every day, when you wake up and you make the choice to pray to your higher power rather than go to the liquor store, it is at that moment that God relieves you of the obsession of the day, for the day. What you do with it is going to be your choice. Right? And it's going to take some time to figure it out. So what we really have is a daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. Maintenance. Steps 10, 11, and 12. 10, 11, and 12. 10, 11, and 12. Those are the maintenance steps. And they all require something, action. Unlike steps 1, 2, and 3. Those do not require action. The rest of the steps always require an action after. And I explained that earlier, that why do we take that action? To solidify what it is that we are doing. It is a way to train the brain to do what it needs to do correctly the next time. Okay? Yeah. All right. So we have a daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. Every day is a day when we must carry the vision of God's will into all of our activities. How can I best serve thee? Thy will, not mine, be done. These are thoughts which must go with us constantly. In the beginning, they're not going to be with you constantly. It is practiced until you get some muscle memory with it. Once you have muscle memory with it, you'll tend just to do it. Okay? Now, this can go away if you let up on the spiritual program of action. It will fade away, and your mind will revert back to old behavior. That's why when people leave AA, even though they've had a successful, sober career, recovery career, whatever you want to call it, end up going out, because you revert back. You don't have a choice. I need to be reminded often of where I came from. Often. When I don't, and I'm not around people in AA all the time, then Dion tends to revert back to who he was, because he thinks that he knows better. And guess what I don't have? Accountability. And an alcoholic with no accountability will go out and do what he thinks is the right thing, even though it's wrong. Every time. I wish it was different, but it's not. Well, you can work with that, though, right? We can exercise our willpower along this line all we wish. It is the proper use of the will. A lot of you probably don't remember Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. So I'm trying to remember his name too. Oh, I'm from the Rich and Famous. I used to be able to do his voice perfectly. Who was the host of Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous? Robin Leach. That's right. I'm Robin Leach. And they call me Robin Leach because I leech off the rich people. All right. Thanks everybody for being here. Everybody meaning Amber. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And have a